At this point we're ready to begin rendering, and it's actually a little bit of a waste to have all this ramp up time where the cigarette's not already burning. So one of the nice features of ice is being able to add in an initial state at any point along the timeline. If I take the cloud and unhide it, and I press play, I'll actually get the particle stream moving upwards. And if I actually capture it at a frame before the character raises his hand, I could have actually added a bit more of a hold at the beginning, but this actually will work out just fine right here. So around frame 108 or so, 113, I'm going to take this cloud in this position and I'm going to set that as my first frame. If I move back to the Simulate menu and I look under the Ice Edit menu, I can set this as my initial state. So now when I roll back to frame 1, I'm already in motion. So it's a really nice feature. And if you ever need to get out of your initial state, it's very easy. All you have to do is unhook your emitter, let the initial state run out, and then replug in again. So you can see all the particles are already dead. Oops, shouldn't have hooked it in. There we go. And now I can set that death state as my initial state. So I can go back in, particles still selected, set as my initial state, which resets everything, and hook in the emitter once again. And now from frame 1, the particles have to grow out from scratch. So again, I'll just make sure I set that initial state, and we can render. There we go. So I'll set frame 108 as my initial state. So when I move now, I get something like that. I would add one more touch to this to make the simulation here appear a little more believable. And that would be that when the character inhales on the cigarette, the rate of smoke needs to diminish. So there's a period of time during the simulation where he does actually inhale, and so we should get less smoke there. So about frame 130 to about 185, so about 55 frames worth, we're going to reduce the rate to almost nothing. So back in ice, on our emit from surface compound, we can actually do something pretty clever here. Let's see if we can't use some of these values to maybe create a bit of an expression. I mean, I'll just do it the easy way first, and then we'll see if it's actually possible to actually control it with ice. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go and find the rate attribute. I'm going to lock this down, and I'm going to match it up. I believe the values were around frame 132. So I'll have the rate burn constant, rate of 1,000 particles, all the way up to frame 132. Key that. And right after that, because the character is actually inhaling smoke, the rate has to diminish. So I'll lower the particle rate to say something like 75. Some particles are still going to get out. And I'll keep it at that little rate, maybe even lower it, so 22. Set a key there. And then as the character releases, so at the very end, maybe the rate goes down as low as, say, 14, 15. And then after the character releases, we shoot back up to 1,000 particles per second. So let's look at how that plays out. Okay, and almost negligible, as I figured, just because the amount of time that this thing takes is so quick. So it didn't really seem to matter much anyways. If it was a longer period of time, we could definitely have got away with it.